All right, sixth graders, really quick lesson for you guys for tomorrow. We're gonna be doing 5-5, which is understanding rates and unit rates, okay? It's way better than the last two lessons, so you'll be just fine. All right, first thing, when we're taking a look at rates are special types of ratios, and the biggest thing here, you guys, they're comparing two different units of measure. Miles per hour, feet per second, money per whatever, okay? So it's two different units, okay? Now, here's an example right here, okay? We could take a look at this 10 kilometers in 3 minutes, and our rate, if they ask you to write a rate, it's simply writing it in this format, where it'd be 10 km / 3 mn, 10 kilometers in or per 3 minutes, okay? So part of the assignment, they're gonna be asking you, write it as a rate. That's what you need to do. All right, now, there's gonna be some where it's gonna be taken from word form, like they're gonna give you a sentence, and you're gonna turn that into a rate. In this example, say it took Nolan 38 minutes to run 8 laps. We can write that as a rate and put that as 38 minutes per 8 laps or for 8 laps. Okay, so we can take either word form, Addison Knapp, excuse you. You can put word form to create that rate. Simply changing our format, changing how we're writing it. So they're asking you to write it as a rate. There we go. All right. Now, with our rates, there's different ways that they're gonna be showing you this, okay? The first example is in ratio tables. This ratio table, we've been talking about this the last 2 lessons. It's simply a way to organize your information. So you can see here that we have our miles per hour. So they're saying they went 45 miles in 4 hours. We wanna figure out how long it's gonna take them to do 135 miles. With these ratio tables, we have to think about that connection. How did you get from 45 to 135? Hey, you multiply by 3. So you do the same thing down below. So we can find that if we know 45 miles in 4 hours, we can figure out what 135 miles in 12 hours. So ratio tables, you will still see those. You'll have more examples of those. The other one that you might see is a line plot, okay? The line plot ones. This is another visual for us to take a look at it. You guys don't be confused by if you see the line plot one. It's the same thing, it's just in line form instead of a ratio table. So here they have 0 to 0. Hey, but now we have 1 to 2. If we're thinking what's gonna go in this box here, how do we get from there to there? Times 2. We're gonna do our same thing here to get that 2. To figure out what this one's gonna be, how do we get from 1 to 3? We multiply by 3. Same thing on the bottom, and we have our 6. So you guys, these are just different ways to show all of these different rates. The biggest thing that you're gonna be seeing from our previous lessons are the labels, okay? Labels really, really count. On here, is labels spelled right? That looks weird. All right, labels really count. So you need to make sure that if we're writing that sentence or if we're filling out our chart, that you have that label included. So rates. It simply is a different way of how to write it, okay? We're comparing 2 different things, okay? Kilometers and minutes, okay? Minutes per lap, whatever it may be. But the big part of our lesson today is taking these rates and turning these into unit rates. Unit rates are rates, okay? But where they're comparing it to 1 unit. So instead of looking at kilometers in 3 minutes, you wanna figure out what it is for the 1 unit, okay? So what it is for 1. Here's our example, okay? We know that a car can go 25 miles in 5 hours. That's terrible, not a car. Let's say something else. 25 miles in 5 hours. We wanna figure out what it's gonna be for 1 hour. That's our unit rate. So we wanna think, how are we gonna get from 5 hours to 1 hour? We're gonna divide by 5. If we divide by 5 here, we have to do this at the top. So we have our 25 divided by 5. So our unit rate, okay, or what it is for 1, okay, is 5 miles in 1 hour. You can write this in many different ways. It can be written as 5 miles / 1 hour. It can be written as 5 miles per hour. Okay, that's one of our abbreviations you guys will see often. or you can write as 5 miles per hour. Many different ways for you to write it.
See?
All right. Now, if I'm taking a look at some other examples over here, all right, I could take this problem here. I could figure out what it's going to be for 1 minute. Divide both of those by 3. I could figure out what it's going to be for 1 lap. Divide both of those by 8. In this assignment, you will get some decimal answers too, so something to kind of keep in mind. So our big thing here, how do we write these ones? Okay. What are you doing? Grayson. Grayson's not in my math class though.
Oopsie.
Okay. Or you could do it in unit rates and figure out what it is for 1 unit. Okay. Labels do count. Make sure that you include those as well. I'm going to keep this up here for you guys tomorrow. Okay. The worksheet. Be careful because there's some that maybe like they give it to you in minutes, but they want the answer in seconds. Okay, so take a look at a couple of those different ones. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. Help each other out without copying. And Addie says hi. Addie out.